Uh, done personal work for the Rothschild family in France. Well, specifically, I talked to Ellie de Rothschild, and so I mentioned that earlier. So he represented their whole family. So there have been a whole bunch of people. Most of them I never would have met, but I knew Ellie. He would say, like, I'm providing financial advice to the founders of Google. I'm providing financial advice to Jeff Bezos.
Answer the question. 5 words, okay? Answer the question.
Okay. Done personal work for the Rothschild family in France. Well, specifically, I talked to Ellie de Rothschild, and so I mentioned that earlier. So he represented their whole family. So there have been a whole bunch of people. Most of them I never would have met, but I knew Ellie. He would say, like, I'm providing financial advice to the founders of Google. I'm providing financial advice to Jeff Bezos.
Answer the question. 5 words, okay? Answer the question.
Okay. Done personal work for the Roth.
The devil. Sometimes I feel and so I sold my soul to the devil. Sometimes I feel I've got to run away. I've got to get away from the pain that you drive.
Oh, I swear to Lucifer.
Heart of me, the love we share seems to go nowhere. And I've lost
Like, transitioning from Disney to this was fucking easy. I don't know, getting molested for fucking from your 6 to your 14.
once I ran to you. Now I'll run from you. This tainted love you've given, I give you all a girl could give you. Take my tears and that's not many. Oh, tainted love, tainted love. Now I know I've got to run away. I've got to get away. You don't really want any more from me to make things right. You need someone to hold you tight, and you think love is to pray. Well, I'm sorry, I don't pray that way. Once I ran to you, now I run from you. This tainted love you've given, I give you all a girl could give you. Take my tears and that's not nearly all. Tainted love, tainted love. Don't touch me, please. I cannot stand the way you tease.
actually CERN is dealing with radionuclear research. But it is more than that, because there are lots of physicians, I know some, they're doing very strange experimentation. There are beings from portals coming in and out. It's physicists from the CERN who told me this.
They've testified
is-
to beings coming in and out of portals.
Yes, they have apparently in the bottom of the CERN this portal, this door where they are dealing with all the subatomic dimensions. They say there are 17 different dimensions of reality. That's what those physicists say. Some others say there are more dimensions, you know. And now, when you look at what is going on in the CERN, there is a fight from some of the military agencies. Intel, they say that there is a fight on time. They're trying to change time.
There's a door, open, a round door, you know, like in the Stargate. And I don't know if it's as big. Yeah, there is one picture that the person is quite small, actually, on it. You can go and look for those interested. Go and type CERN portal LHC door, and you will see. So in front of the door, they have a room. They probably have many doors, but they have a room, and they sit around the table. And I said, so yeah, what happened? He said, well, an entity came from this portal, and like
What?
it sat at the table. I was like, but how is this what do you mean entity? Is it a person? Is it an alien? What color are they, like us? And they couldn't answer anything. They said, no, it's not. We know, we just know it at CERN, and they cannot describe it, but they have it secondhand. It's not third, fourth. It's a very good friend who knows.
That's very.
Okay, I have to find something more, because that's not enough. I mean,
Even she knows it's not enough. I mean, she is a scientist, you know.
I said, can you have proof? And is there a proof that they bring, that is give something? There's some document, and they said that this entity the second time took a scarf and left a scarf. I said, what type of scarf? And they don't know. They're not into the detail. They were really into the event and not the detail. And this entity left again. So that's the short scoop that starts.
BB. Look behind the gentleman in the pink shirt. You're going to see two big bold numbers. It says BB 18. Those are fuse holders. Now look at all three pictures and look at how many boxes of plastic fuse holders that can be used for remote control demolition. And ask yourself, why would art students from Israel and Austria be having thousands of fuse holders? This building was built in the early 1970s. They weren't electricians. They weren't redoing all of the electricity in that building. Now, some of those artists are guaranteed Mossad bomb experts, and that's in the DEA document that you can read. Behind the gentleman in the pink shirt, you're going to see two big bold numbers. It says BB 18. Those are fuse holders. Now look at all three pictures and look at how many boxes of plastic fuse holders that can be used for remote control demolition. And ask yourself, why
Rothschilds come from the Orsini family. Roth means red in German, and the Orsini means red bear, little red bears. That's what Orsini means. The Grey Pope is Pepe Orsini. He trumps the black, he trumps the white Pope.
The Grey Pope is even higher than the black and the white Pope.
The Orsini is the Maxima family. They are the maximum family. They are on top. And somehow they've trumped the Colonna and the Farnese, which I know without any doubt through all my studies that they are the three most powerful Illuminati.
What about Rothschild and Rockefeller?
Well, they are Orsini. They just changed their name. Rockefeller were Rothschilds. Rothschilds were Orsini. Orsini were a family which have their lines in Babylon and Egypt. They tell you that. You read their biographies. They'll tell you that. We go back to Nimrod. They tell you that. The Rothschilds say that. We go back to Nimrod. How? Through the Orsini. So Rockefeller, Rothschild, Orsini, and then you go back to the Persian and Egyptian dynasties. Rothschilds come from the Orsini family.
Things when they'll believe some of these extraordinary beliefs about magical powers and, you know, God type beings, but they won't believe that Jeff Epstein, who's telling you that he's doing these things in his emails and openly, that
yes,
he's actually
the
doing
emails.
these things.
Sorry, that's where we were. Because, you know, I
entire planet that has been known as Q. And if you don't know who Q is, it's just like I said, it's a military intelligence communications back channel to all the people, so that the head brass in the military and all the individuals who are cleaning up this mess can tell us what's happening and inform us of what's going to be happening, and it's been continuously validated. We've been given good information over and over again by this Q team of individuals. If you haven't heard of it, all the raw intelligence drops are on www.qmap.pub, and it doesn't matter if you don't believe it's real. Doesn't matter if you think Q is... The mainstream media has tried to attack Q more so than any other topic in existence. They call it fake, they call it a conspiracy theory, they say it's been debunked, and frankly speaking, it hasn't been, and we know it's real. President's own family tweets about it, President tweets about it, and General Flynn just said, where we go, when we go all, in his July 4th tweet to the people, where he took the oath again.
Jack Flynn, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States. The office on which I am about to enter. The office on which I am about to enter. So help me God. So help me God. Where we go one, we go all. Where we go one, we go all. God bless America.
So it doesn't matter if you don't believe Q is a legitimate intel source. It is. It already is. It's been proven, and there are other videos that can prove that to you. The only real debate that people have is whether Q and Trump's military government are using Q for good or for bad. I personally believe it's for good. However, there's no question or debate whether this information back channel is coming from the Donald Trump administration. So there's no doubt about it. Okay, for instance, this is how we've known about Jeffrey Epstein. Obviously, President Trump has known about Epstein since way before, but back in April and March of 2018, Q was talking about Epstein Island, and there's tunnels there, and what they're doing, and they're trying to bury the tunnels with concrete, and why would they be trying to do that? Posted pictures of Ray Chandler, which is where this is going. This is going up the chain. We've known, because of Q, we've known about Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, the NXIVM, sex cult, blackmail ring in Hollywood that was going on with Jennifer Mack and Keith Raniere. They both got arrested for child sex trafficking charges. Did you hear any of that on the mainstream news? In one ear, out the other. They didn't even cover it. It's next some other scandal. Just blame POTUS for everything. Don't cover the child sex trafficking. Totally ignore it. That's what they've been doing. And so we heard about how this is tied in with royalty and Ray Chandler and all sorts of politicians. The Clintons have both gone to this pedophile private island. It's just the facts. They're on the flight logs. And there's nothing people can say to deny that. All they can do is try to distract you with something else. So please pay attention to this. Ghislaine Maxwell is one thing, and these people were so brazen with their child sex trafficking. They were so confident that they'd never get caught, that they're tweeting about it, they're posting pictures on Instagram, even advertising this, and it's totally despicable. And it's a travesty. And we have to care about this. So please get this information out. Everything on
quite heavily on. We're seeing the whole Trump clan there now. Pretty much all of them, apart from Ivanka, your father led quite heavily on. We're seeing the whole Trump clan there now. Pretty much all of them, apart from Ivanka, your father led quite heavily on. We're seeing the whole Trump clan there now. Pretty much all of them, apart from Ivanka, your
One of the world's dirtiest secrets is that the exterminated Jews in Nazi Germany were not considered real Jews. They were considered Khazar Russians and Eastern Europeans whose ancestors converted to Judaism in 740 AD under their king, King Bulan. Their bloodline dates back to the Turkish tribes and to the powerful empire of Khazaria that once controlled all of Russia. Arthur Kessler, who wrote The 13th Tribe, claims that over 90% of today's Jews are racially non-Jewish and have no genetic relationship to the 12 tribes of Israel. Today's Jews, says Kessler, are more related to Attila the Hun than King Solomon of Israel. 2,000 years ago, when the Roman conquerors evicted the 12 tribes from Israel, the largest tribes, called Dan and Naphtali, settled in Denmark and Norway. Their Viking king, called King Canute,
Mad cow disease. No longer. People dying suddenly. Why doesn't everybody see? Healthy youth dropping dead. Blood clots, strokes, cancer spread. Even track mad cow disease. No longer rare, but no one sees. Tinnitus, pus ladies losing their hair. All these symptoms, does anyone care? Myocarditis, pericarditis, heart attacks. How can be up to date and relax? Neurological disorders, autoimmune diseases. Do they think they're gonna die every time one of them sneezes? People dying suddenly, why doesn't everybody see? Miscarriage rates skyrocketing as replacement levels plummet. They're talking about the gut connection and the devil's sonnet. Talking about reducing carbon from their leeches. Slurping sticks on us, burning maggots. They think we should die now, they would be better off. They thought they could enslave us with a weaponized cough. They thought was cemented experimental shots. Now all of the loyalist subjects have baffling microclots. They poison COVID victims with drugs like remdesivir. They poison COVID victims with drugs like remdesivir. They poisoned our children, forcing them to live in fear. Still telling people to stay up to date, betting on how many boosters will secure their fate. Not so fast, cause we're not that dumb. You want us to die, but we will not succumb.
Roberts has a pair. I never thought Donna has a pair. I think Gwyneth Paltrow has a pair.
Having your business, but remember, okay? You are in Hollywood, right? Check the name.
allowed to take off your blindfold. If I find that you have, I will hurt you. Do you understand? Do you understand?
How old are you? Only 10. Children, I like them. I eat children.
And it's just dystopian. So there's nobody here. There's like more people up here with the press overlooking the Capitol than there are at the inauguration. We're here with Fox News and CNN, and this guy Eric is great from TBN. He's a Middle East correspondent. Really great coverage. Conservative. It's the most bizarre scene you ever saw in your life. There's like 100 people. This world has set up a world of symbols and emblems and terms and catchphrases. And once you understand how this system works, it's fascinating because for the first time, the world opens up to you a whole new perspective on how government works, on how banks work, on how institutions of education, and why we have something called the police. The things which are happening in this world are not chaos at all. It is very well planned, organized, and directed. There is a hidden agenda, so to speak.
of assistance affected a civilian coup. In contrast to the usual concept of a coup where the military is involved and takes over the White House and communication centers, very much like the scenarios you see in a movie, this coup was done silently and very effectively through two methods: corruption and co-optation. The Clintons have been involved in co-opting our White House, our judiciary, our CIA, our Federal Bureau of Investigation, our Attorney General Loretta Lynch, and our Director of the FBI, James Comey, for some time now. What they've done is to make sure that they were part and parcel of a group of people who were interrelated through political cronyism. However, in order to stop this coup, we in the intelligence community and others involved have informally gotten together, and with their permission, I am beginning to announce that we've initiated a counter-coup through Julian Assange and WikiLeaks. What has happened in effect when Comey had to open up the case of Hillary Clinton and discuss the emails that were involved with the Anthony Weiner case, it was not the case itself that was as important as the fact that this was the entree for many of us in the counter-coup to say to the administration, we have your number. Not only do we have your number, we're going to stop you from making Hillary the President of the United States. And at the same time, we will convict and indict the President of the United States, Loretta Lynch, and many others who were involved in the cover-up of the massive corruption that occurred under the Clinton Foundation. Now, in both cases, their coup was silent, and our counter-coup was silent, and it was all transgressed or occurred on the internet. And this is probably the first time in the history of any country where a coup was initiated through the internet and a counter-coup was initiated through the internet. I'm just a small part of something far bigger than myself. It was the brave men and women who were in the FBI, the CIA, the Director of Intelligence, the military intelligence, and men and women in 15 other intelligence organizations who were sick and tired of seeing this corruption in the White House and the Justice Department and the intelligence system. And we decided that it was something we had to do in order to save the Republic. So we initiated a counter-coup through Julian Assange, who's been very brave and really quite formidable in his ability to come forth and provide all the necessary emails that we gave to him in order to undermine Hillary and Bill Clinton. Again, America, we're going through a major transition and, quite frankly, a second American Revolution. We do not have guns, we do not have weapons, we do not intend to kill anybody, we do not intend to harm anybody. But we, the American public, and those of us who serve as veterans and in the intelligence service like myself, will stop the Clintons from assuming power that they don't deserve. At the same time, we will make certain that Obama leaves without any trail of a pardon or any other act of treason. In effect, we want a peaceful transition in this great American republic. I bring you this news, and I want you to understand what has happened. A moment of history is occurring right now in front of us, and I'm proud to explain it to you.
This is why the Masons believe they will live forever. Every time they defile a little child, they steal some of that child's youth. And if you notice, children are sexually abused due to age or rapidly, because their innocence has been stolen. Have been sexually violated by their Masonic relatives, often in Masonic temples.
If you're an AI being that's made out of nanites, because then they can handshake any way they want and make you look like anything. But any biological life form is not going to shapeshift unless it has some sort of advanced holographic technology. But it's not like its flesh is moving. So when we talk about reptilians, we're not talking about humans on Earth. We're talking about beings that actually look like this all the time. They're born that way, they die that way. And they have been the ones that are going around and invading planets and causing trouble. And this seems to be where we get this archetypal idea of Satan and demons. Because when we look at what we think that is, it looks very, very similar to how these beings look, with really the only exception being that as far as we know, they don't really have any long tails. They might have short little stubby tails. They do have claws on their fingers and feet. They don't have horns on their head. But they do have the scaly skin, they do have the vertical slit pupils, they are very muscular, and they're very, very ferocious and terrifying. And they smell really bad, too.
There are a lot of hidden meanings in words. If you take Epstein's name and put it backwards in Dutch and write Epstein Nietspeer is Epstein backwards, what comes out is Epstein did not kill himself. It's interesting looking into words, and you can read a lot between the lines, and I wanted to share this with everyone.
There is a roadmap to exposing Epstein's network that no one is talking about, and it's not in DOJ's Epstein files. It's in the case file of former U.S. Virgin Islands Attorney General Denise George. In 2025, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer asked for this case file. Yet I've seen no indication that Congress ever got the complete file or released it to the public, which begs the question, why not? George followed the money. She traced millions of dollars in cash withdrawals and payments to Epstein's co-conspirators, recruiters, and victims, wire payments to young women in Lithuania and Russia, funding a modeling agency in Jean-Luc Brunel, who was charged with raping minors, credit card transactions for Epstein's accomplices and victims. As a former SDNY Criminal Division Deputy Chief who prosecuted sex trafficking cases, I can tell you, that's exactly the kind of evidence used to build a criminal sex trafficking case. George called Epstein's lawyer Darren Indyke and accountant Richard Kahn indispensable captains of Epstein's criminal enterprise. George's evidence in her civil cases was compelling enough to win her massive multi-million-dollar settlements from the Epstein estate, J.P. Morgan, and billionaire Leon Black, which brings us to the $64,000 question. Where's the evidence now? It's in the custody of the current Virgin Islands Attorney General Gordon Ray. That is shocking. Why? Because Ray was the defense attorney for Epstein's accountant, Richard Kahn. Yes. The Virgin Islands governor, Albert Bryan Jr., fired George and replaced her with an attorney for one of Epstein's alleged co-conspirators. According to George, Bryan fired her after she refused his demands to end her Epstein investigation quickly and let this go. But ready for this? There's another copy of George's case file. In 2023, George went to the FBI. She told the FBI that a copy of her case file was at the Washington D.C. law firm Motley Rice. Today, George is a DOJ prosecutor in the Virgin Islands. Her boss is Todd Blanche. But Blanche can't stop her from testifying about the work she did before she got to DOJ. Congress must subpoena Denise George. Congress also must subpoena the Virgin Islands Attorney General and Motley Rice for both the case file and for testimony from Motley Rice's lawyers, investigators, and forensic accountants. They can identify Epstein's co-conspirators, explain the evidence, and highlight new leads. Congress can find the truth here. The question isn't whether there is a roadmap to exposing Epstein's network. There is. It's whether anyone is willing to follow it. There is a roadmap to exposing Epstein's network that no one is talking about, and it's not in DOJ's Epstein files. It's in the case file of former U.S. Virgin Islands Attorney General Denise George. In 2025, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer asked for this case file. Yet I've seen no indication that Congress ever got the complete file or released it to the public, which begs the question, why not? George.
The most dangerous person you'll ever meet is the one who healed alone. Not dangerous in a violent way. Dangerous because they rebuilt themselves without anyone's help. Let other people's opinions don't matter when you've already seen yourself at rock bottom and climbed out alone. These people don't fear abandonment. They've already been abandoned. They don't need validation. They validated themselves. They don't chase anyone. They know whoever's meant to stay will stay. They're dangerous because you can't manipulate someone who's already faced their demons alone. You can't threaten someone with loneliness when they've made peace with it. You can't break someone who already broke and rebuilt themselves. The most dangerous